My parents banned my daughter's graduation so my nephew could shine. I walked away that night. A year later, their golden grandson learned what I built without them. Imagine being told, point blank, not to celebrate your own daughter's biggest achievement because someone else deserved the spotlight. My parents did that to me. And in that gut-wrenching moment, something inside me snapped, exposing decades of painful favoritism and forcing me to choose between loyalty to them and the worth of my own child. This isn't just about family drama, though. This is about drawing a line in the sand, standing up for your kids, and protecting your peace when it feels like your own blood is telling you that you don't matter. If you've ever felt that, stick with me, because this journey changed everything for us. Growing up, I always felt like I was living in a shadow. My older brother, Marcus, he was the golden child, the charismatic, athletic quarterback who could light up a room. I was the quiet, nerdy one. Louis, why can't you be more like your brother? That refrain was the soundtrack to my entire childhood. Marcus won a football game. Block party. I won the state science fair. A quick, good job, dear, before asking if I'd seen Marcus's latest trophy. It wasn't that they were cruel, not exactly. They provided for us. But the difference in their enthusiasm, their pride, their attention, it was impossible to ignore. Your brother just has that special something, my mother would sigh, like it was a cosmic mystery. My father was more direct. Marcus is going places. Natural leader. That boy. College was my escape. My personal declaration of independence. MIT. Computer science. A world where my brain was finally valued. That's where I found Amanda. She saw me. Truly saw me. Not Marcus's little brother. On our third date, I poured out my heart about my family. She looked utterly baffled. But you're amazing, she said, her eyes wide. How could they not see that? We married after graduation. And yeah, my parents were there. Their wedding toast? Mostly about how surprised they were I'd settled down first, followed by jokes about Marcus's single life adventures. Predictable. 2 years later, Jennifer arrived. A rainy April morning, and holding her, I made a silent vow. She would never question her worth. My parents showed up to the hospital, teddy bear in hand, stayed 30 minutes, then left. That week, my mom called 3 times, all to ask if we'd heard from Marcus, who was backpacking through Europe. 2 years after that, Tyler was born to Marcus and Sophia. My parents drove 6 hours, stayed a week. My dad took 2 weeks off work. My mother, bless her, made a custom baby book with gold lettering. Our first grandson, she cooed, completely erasing Jennifer from existence. The pattern solidified. Christmas mornings? Tyler's pile of presents dwarfed Jennifer's. Jennifer learned to read at 4. That's nice, my mother dismissed. But children should focus more on playing. Tyler caught a ball at 3. My father called everyone he knew. Despite it all, or maybe because of it, I poured everything into being the best father. Reading, science fairs, school events. Amanda and I built a home where achievement was celebrated, kindness was valued, and Jennifer knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that she was loved. My career soared. Marcus, he drifted from job to job, always with my parents providing excuses and, more often than not, financial bailouts. Tyler was a good kid, struggled academically, but had Marcus's athletic promise. And through it all, my parents' favoritism only grew more entrenched. I told myself I'd made peace with it. I had my own life, my own family. I didn't need their approval. Or so I thought. Then came the phone call that changed everything. It was a Thursday afternoon in May. I was wrapping up a video call when Jennifer's smiling face popped up on my phone. Dad, she practically screamed, breathless with excitement. I just got called to the principal's office. I'm going to be valedictorian. The pride that surged through me was immense, overwhelming. Jennifer, my brilliant, hard-working girl, the top student in her entire class. That's incredible, sweetheart. I choked out, tears stinging my eyes. We're throwing you the biggest celebration ever. Amanda and I immediately started planning a party worthy of her incredible achievement. And then, almost as an afterthought, I called my parents. They were her grandparents after all. My mother answered. Hello, Mom. It's Louis. I have amazing news about Jennifer. I heard the immediate lack of warmth in her voice, a stark contrast to how she'd sound if I'd called about Tyler. Still, I pushed through. Jennifer found out she's valedictorian. Top of her class. There was a pause. A polite, dead flat. That's nice, dear. She's always been good at school, hasn't she? The deflation hit me like a physical blow. But I soldiered on. We're planning a big party. We'd love for you and Dad to come. Another pause. Oh, well, about that. Did Marcus call you? I frowned. No. Why would Marcus call me about Jennifer's graduation? Well, it's Tyler, you see, she said, her voice brightening. He just made the football team. The coach says he might even be starting quarterback. Your father and I are just thrilled. You know how much Tyler has struggled. I pinched the bridge of my nose. That's great for Tyler, Mom. But what does that have to do with Jennifer's party? Her next words sliced through me. We were thinking it might be better if you didn't make such a big fuss about Jennifer right now. Tyler really deserves the spotlight for this achievement, don't you think? Jennifer is always succeeding at things. This is special for Tyler. I nearly dropped the phone. Mom, I whispered, my voice thick with disbelief. Are you seriously asking me not to celebrate my daughter becoming valedictorian? Not forever, dear. Just postpone it a bit. We're planning a special dinner for Tyler this weekend. You should all come to that instead. Jennifer can talk about her school news there too. The rest of the conversation blurred. When I hung up, I sat in stunned silence, a cold knot of anger tightening in my stomach. I found Amanda, laptop open, scrolling through party venues. Her smile evaporated when she saw my face. What happened? I told her everything. Her expression cycled from confusion to disbelief to a burning fury I rarely saw. They want us to what? Are they serious? This is her high school graduation. She's valedictorian. She slammed her laptop shut. Actually, no. It's completely believable. This is exactly what they've always done. Neither of us realized Jennifer had come downstairs. What's wrong? She asked, her voice small. Did something happen with the party? Amanda and I exchanged a look. We'd always try to shield her. But now, seeing her there in her signed graduation t-shirt, I couldn't lie. Your grandparents think we should postpone your celebration, I said carefully. Tyler made the football team, and they're concerned about timing. Jennifer was quiet for a long moment. Then she nodded slowly. Because his achievement matters more than mine. Like always. No. The resignation in my daughter's voice broke something inside me. My bright, compassionate, hard-working 17-year-old had learned to expect this. She expected her grandparents to always prioritize her cousin. What kind of lesson was that? That night, after Jennifer was asleep, Amanda and I talked for hours about the years of subtle and not so subtle favoritism, about what it was doing to Jennifer. You need to talk to them, Amanda finally said, face to face. They need to understand this isn't acceptable. I nodded, a fierce resolve setting in. Tomorrow. I'll go see them tomorrow. The 45-minute drive felt endless. My mind replayed every slight, every ignored achievement, every moment of casual dismissal. My father answered the door, surprised to see me. Louis, aren't you supposed to be at work? We need to talk, Dad. About Jennifer's graduation and what Mom said. His face closed off instantly. Your mother mentioned you called. Come in. She's in the garden. My childhood home hadn't changed. Same furniture, same photos. I noticed, not for the first time, how many featured Marcus or Tyler, how few included Jennifer or me. My mother was pruning roses, her wide-brimmed hat shielding her face. Her smile faltered when she saw my expression. Louis, is everything all right? No, Mom. Everything is not all right. I took a deep breath. I came to talk about Jennifer's graduation and what you said yesterday. She set down her shears. I was afraid you might have misunderstood me. Of course, we're happy for Jennifer. She's always been such a smart girl. Then why? I asked, my voice barely steady. Would you ask us not to celebrate her achievement? My father cut in. Now, no one said not to celebrate. We just think the timing needs to be considered. Tyler has finally found something he excels at. Jennifer has excelled at everything she's ever attempted. I countered, my voice rising. She's worked incredibly hard for years. She's graduating at the top of her class. She's going to deliver the valedictorian speech. And you want us to downplay that because Tyler made the football team? My mother removed her gardening gloves, slow and deliberate. Louis, you're being dramatic. We're just asking for a little sensitivity. Tyler has always struggled in Jennifer's shadow. This is important for his self-esteem. In Jennifer's shadow? I scoffed, a bitter laugh escaping me. When have you ever put Jennifer first? When have you ever celebrated her achievements with even half the enthusiasm you show for everything Tyler does? My parents exchanged glances. That's simply not true, my father said, his voice firm. We love both our grandchildren equally. Do you really? I shot back, the words pouring out now, years of suppressed feelings finally finding release. Because from where I'm standing, you've spent 17 years making it crystal clear that Tyler is the golden grandchild and Jennifer is an afterthought. That's unfair, my mother protested. We've always been there for Jennifer too. Been there. I challenged. You missed her science fair last year to attend Tyler's baseball game. You forgot her birthday 2 years ago, but sent Tyler 3 packages for his. Last Christmas, you gave her a generic bookstore gift card, while Tyler got that gaming computer he'd been asking for. Each example seemed to land like a physical blow. They looked genuinely stunned, as if they'd never considered their behavior from this perspective. Those are just isolated incidents, my father said weakly. You're making it sound like a pattern. It is a pattern, I practically shouted. It's the same pattern you established with Marcus and me. The golden child and the other one. Do you have any idea what that does to a child? To always feel like they're not quite good enough, not quite worth celebrating. My mother's face hardened. Now you're just being childish. We raised you both the best we could. It's not our fault if you've held on to some perceived slight all these years. Perceived slight. I laughed, a harsh, humorless sound. Mom, you literally just asked me not to celebrate my daughter's greatest academic achievement because it might overshadow your grandson making the junior varsity football team. That's not perceived. That's explicit favoritism. My father stepped forward. Look, Louie, we've already planned a celebration for Tyler this Saturday. We've invited the whole family. We thought Jennifer could come too, share her news there. That way, everyone gets recognized. My blood ran cold. Let me get this straight. You want my daughter, the valedictorian, to sit at Tyler's football celebration and maybe get a quick, "Oh, by the way, Jennifer's valedictorian moment? That's your solution?" You're making it sound worse than it is, my mother said. We just think it's a good opportunity for the whole family to celebrate together. Something inside me snapped. No, absolutely not. Jennifer deserves her own celebration, her own moment to shine. We're throwing her a graduation party, and it's going to be wonderful, with or without you. Now you're just being petty, my father snapped back. This isn't a competition. You're right. I retorted. It's not a competition. It's about recognizing my daughter's hard work and achievement with the celebration she deserves. My mother stood up straighter. Well, if that's your attitude, perhaps it would be better if we focused on Tyler's event this weekend. You can do whatever you want for Jennifer. Of course, I echoed, the bitterness heavy in my voice. Just like always. You focus on Tyler and Marcus, and I'll focus on my family. We are your family, my father said sternly. I looked at him, really looked at him, and saw for the first time how deeply entrenched these patterns were. They genuinely couldn't see what they were doing. No, Dad. Amanda and Jennifer are my family. They're the ones who see me, who value me, who celebrate my successes instead of comparing them to someone else's. You and Mom, you're just the people who raised me to believe I was never quite good enough. Louie, my mother gasped. How can you say such a thing? Because it's true. And I've spent 17 years making sure Jennifer never feels the way you made me feel. I will not let you do to her what you did to me. If that's how you feel, maybe you should leave, my father said, his voice cold, devoid of emotion. Gladly. I turned toward the door, then paused. You know what the saddest part is? Jennifer is an extraordinary person, brilliant, compassionate, hardworking, and you've been so focused on Tyler, you've barely noticed. You're missing out on knowing one of the most amazing people I've ever met. That's your loss, not hers. I walked out the door, my heart pounding, hands shaking. As I got into my car, I saw my mother watching from the window, her expression unreadable. I started the engine and drove away, feeling simultaneously terrible and relieved, like I'd finally lanced a wound that had been festering for decades. On the drive home, I called Amanda. It's done, I said when she answered. I don't think they'll be coming to Jennifer's party. How did it go? She asked quietly. About as well as you'd expect. They don't see it. They don't understand what they've been doing all these years. I sighed deeply. I told them some hard truths. I doubt they'll forgive me anytime soon. Did it feel good telling them? She asked. I considered. Yes and no. It hurt. But it also felt like freedom, like I've finally stopped trying to earn their approval. I'm proud of you, Amanda said. Jennifer will be too. We're going to throw her the best graduation party anyone has ever seen. With or without my parents? I asked. Definitely without, Amanda confirmed. That drive home, it was a blur. My knuckles were white on the steering wheel, my mind a storm of regret, anger, and this strange, unexpected relief. Had I really just walked away? Had I finally said all the things I'd bottled up for decades? Amanda was waiting on the porch when I pulled into the driveway. One look at my face, and she knew. That bad, huh? She asked, wrapping her arms around me. Worse, I said. I basically told them they've been terrible grandparents, and that Jennifer and you are my real family now. I leaned into her embrace. I think I just burned a 37-year bridge. Maybe it needed burning, Amanda murmured, leading me inside. Jennifer was at a friend's house, so Amanda and I talked everything through. I recounted the whole confrontation, cringing at some parts, still simmering with anger at others. What do we tell Jennifer? I asked, exhausted. The truth, Amanda said simply. She's 17, not 7. She knows more than we think. She deserves to know you stood up for her. When Jennifer came home, we sat her down. I tried to be measured, not wanting to burden her, but also unwilling to sugarcoat. So, basically, Jennifer summarized after I finished. You told Grandma and Grandpa that they can't treat me like I'm less important than Tyler anymore, and they got mad. That's pretty much it, I conceded. She nodded thoughtfully. And they're not coming to my graduation party. Probably not, sweetheart. I'm sorry. To my surprise, Jennifer smiled. Don't be. You know what this means? It means we can have the party we actually want. Not the weird formal thing Grandma would have expected. Amanda laughed. She has a point. So, we're really doing this? I asked. Planning a big celebration without my family? No, Jennifer said, taking my hand. We're planning a big celebration with our family, the people who actually care about each other. And that's exactly what we did. Over the next 2 weeks, we threw ourselves into planning the most amazing party. A beautiful outdoor venue overlooking the lake, custom invitations designed by Amanda, all Jennifer's favorite foods, a DJ, professional photography, a slideshow of her journey. We invited her friends, her teachers, Amanda's family, who'd always treated Jennifer with genuine love, my colleagues. Conspicuously absent? My parents, Marcus, Sophia, Tyler. Should we at least invite Tyler? Jennifer asked one night, her compassion shining through. It's not his fault. I shook my head. It would put him in an impossible position right now. Maybe someday. The day of graduation was bright and clear. My parents did attend the ceremony. I spotted them far from our family, and they never approached us. Jennifer's valedictorian speech brought tears to my eyes. She spoke about perseverance, finding your own path, surrounding yourself with people who believe in you. Sometimes the hardest lesson, she concluded, is that you can't make everyone see your worth. Some people will never understand what makes you special, and that's okay. Find the ones who do, and hold them close. As she finished, I caught my father's eye. His expression was unreadable. He looked away. The celebration was everything and more. Jennifer was radiant, surrounded by friends, teachers, Amanda's dad, who had always given her the unconditional love every grandchild deserves. Amanda slipped her arm through mine. We did good, she said, nodding towards Jennifer. Look how happy she is. We did, I agreed. I just wish your parents could have been part of this. No, I realized, truly surprised. I wish they could see what they're missing. I wish they understood what real family support looks like. Later that night, Jennifer hugged me tight. Thank you, Dad. For what, sweetheart? For making me feel like I matter. Like my achievements are worth celebrating. I hugged her back, my throat tight. You will always matter to me. Always. Amanda posted photos online, not to be petty, but to celebrate. I knew my parents would see them. I wondered what they would think. The summer flew by. Jennifer prepared for Cornell on a substantial scholarship. Amanda's business flourished. I got a promotion. Contact with my parents dwindled to stilted holiday calls. They never mentioned the party. I didn't push. Marcus didn't contact me at all. Thanksgiving and Christmas that year were spent with Amanda's family, or just the three of us in a cozy mountain cabin. It was the most peaceful holiday season I could remember. The shift wasn't always easy. There were doubts. But then I'd look at Jennifer, confident, thriving, secure in her worth, and know protecting her from the toxic patterns of my childhood was worth any price. Little did I know, the true consequences of my decision and the revolution it sparked would only become clear a year later. Jennifer thrived at Cornell, calling us several times a week, buzzing with classes, new friends, research opportunities. You know what's weird, Dad? She said during one video call. I don't miss Grandma and Grandpa. Is that terrible of me? Not at all, I assured her. Sometimes relationships that don't add positivity are better kept at a distance. I used to try so hard to make them notice me, she admitted. Now I just focus on making myself proud. It's liberating. Her words echoed my own feelings. I, too, had shed invisible restraints, stepping up at work, taking on bigger roles. 6 months after Jennifer's graduation, I was promoted to director, leading a team of 15. Amanda's business exploded, specializing in branding for tech startups. We bought a new house, 2 acres, floor-to-ceiling windows, a gourmet kitchen for Amanda's new passion, a dedicated office for each of us. A sense of peace. A sanctuary. It's perfect, Amanda whispered, standing on the back deck during our second viewing. It feels like us. We moved in by June. Jennifer came home for the summer and claimed the guest suite. This house is amazing, she declared. Tyler is going to flip when he sees it. I paused, a framed photo in my hands. Tyler? Why would Tyler see it? Jennifer looked uncomfortable. Oh, I thought I mentioned. I've been texting with Tyler a bit. He's been having a rough time. This was news to me. What kind of rough time? Jennifer hesitated. His grades aren't great. He's worried about not graduating. And Uncle Marcus lost his job again. A pang of sympathy hit me. How do you know all this? Tyler reached out on Instagram. He seemed like he needed someone to talk to who wasn't wrapped up in all the family drama. I hope you're not mad. Of course not, I assured her. Tyler's a good kid. None of this is his fault. Through distant relatives, I'd heard whispers. Tyler's football dreams hadn't panned out. He barely played, and his grades had worsened. Marcus had indeed lost his job. Rumors of missed deadlines and conflicts. My parents, predictably, had stepped in financially, but I never sought out the details. Then one afternoon in July, my mother called. Our conversations were usually surface level. This one followed suit until the very end. Louis, she said just as I was about to make an excuse to hang up. Your father and I saw the pictures of your new house. It looks very impressive. You must be doing well. There was an odd note in her voice. Pride, resentment, regret? We are, I said simply. The business is good. Amanda's taking off. Jennifer loves Cornell. We're very happy. A pause. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. Another pause. Marcus is having a difficult time right now. She finally said. The economy, you know. Always Marcus. Always his struggles. Briefly acknowledging my success before pivoting to his challenges. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope things improve. Yes. Well, he's looking at some promising opportunities. Your father's helping him network. Of course he was. That's good, Louis. Her voice softened unexpectedly. Would it be possible for us to visit sometime? See your new home? Perhaps when Jennifer is there, too? The request blindsided me. A year of silence. And now this. I'll need to think about that, Mom. Talk to Amanda and Jennifer. Of course, she said, sounding disappointed, but not surprised. Just let us know. I hung up, looking out at the trees, wondering what prompted her call. Reconciliation? Curiosity? Something else? I decided not to dwell. The past year had taught me the value of focusing on the positive. What I didn't realize then was that my mother's call was just the first tremor of a much larger seismic shift about to rock our carefully reconstructed lives. The unexpected encounter happened a week before Jennifer returned to Cornell. I was at the mall, picking up a new laptop for her. Uncle Louis, a familiar voice. I turned to find Tyler, taller, leaner, looking startlingly like Marcus at 19. Tyler, it's great to see you. How are you doing? He shifted awkwardly. I'm good. Getting stuff for senior year. How's football? A flicker of disappointment, or relief, crossed his face. I quit the team last season. It wasn't what I thought it would be. News to me. Oh, I'm sorry. He shrugged. Don't be. I wasn't very good. Honestly, I only tried out because Dad and Grandpa wanted it so badly. He glanced around, then lowered his voice. Can we maybe grab a coffee? I've been wanting to talk to you. 20 minutes later, in a quiet corner of the coffee shop, Tyler sipped a frappuccino. Jennifer mentioned you two have been texting. I started gently. He nodded, relieved. Yeah, she's been really cool. Helped me with some college application essays and stuff. She's like the smartest person I know. His genuine admiration for Jennifer warmed me. She mentioned you've had a tough year. Tyler stared into his drink. Yeah, it's been weird. Dad lost his job again. He and Mom fight all the time. Grandma and Grandpa are always at our house talking money. He looked up, his eyes meeting mine. They compare me to Jennifer constantly now. It's like they flipped a switch or something. I blinked. They compare you to Jennifer? How so? It's always, Jennifer got a scholarship, and Jennifer made the dean's list. And why can't you apply yourself like your cousin? He mimicked my mother's voice with startling accuracy. It's like they decided she's the golden child now that she's at Cornell. I couldn't help a short, incredulous laugh. That's quite a change. Tell me about it. He rolled his eyes. The irony is, I always felt bad about how they treated Jennifer before. Like, I knew they favored me, and it was weird and uncomfortable. I didn't want to be the favorite. I just wanted to be me. His honesty struck me. I'd never considered how the favoritism had affected him. That must have been a difficult position for you, I said softly. It is. I feel like I'm constantly disappointing everyone. Dad wants me to be this sports star. Grandpa wants me to be a man, whatever that means. Grandma wants me to be charming and popular. Now they all want me to be academically successful like Jennifer. He shook his head. I'm just me. I like computers and graphic design. I'm decent at school when it's subjects I care about. I suck at football. I smiled at his self-assessment. Nothing wrong with being yourself. That's what Jennifer said. She told me about how you guys moved and started this whole new life after the big fight with Grandma and Grandpa. Tyler looked at me with unexpected intensity. She said you're happier now that you stopped trying to please people who couldn't be pleased. She's right, I admitted. It wasn't an easy decision, but it was the right one for us. Tyler nodded slowly. I've been thinking about that a lot lately, about making my own choices. He took a deep breath. I applied to the same college as Jennifer for their digital arts program. I got in. Tyler, that's fantastic. I was genuinely thrilled. Have you told your parents? Your grandparents? His expression clouded. No. They all have their hearts set on me going to Dad's alma mater. State University, business degree, follow in his footsteps. He made air quotes. I don't know how to tell them I want something different. I thought about my own journey. It's not easy to disappoint people you love, even when you know you're making the right choice for yourself. Exactly. Tyler looked relieved. Can I ask you something, Uncle Lou? Would it be okay if I came over sometime to see your new house? Jennifer said it's amazing. I'd really like to see how you guys live, I guess. What it's like. The request touched me deeply. You're welcome anytime, Tyler. How about dinner this week? Jennifer's still home, and she'd love to see you. Tyler's face lit up. Really? That would be awesome. We arranged for Thursday. As we parted, Tyler surprised me with a quick, awkward hug. Thanks, Uncle Lou, for talking to me like I'm an actual person with my own thoughts and stuff. I watched him walk away, marveling at his maturity. Despite all the family drama, he was a thoughtful young man with his own mind. I felt a surge of pride, followed by sadness that his own father might never appreciate him for who he truly was. Thursday evening, Tyler showed up promptly at 6, nervous but excited. Dude, wait until you see this place. Jennifer greeted him with easy familiarity, linking her arm through his. The media room has the most insane sound system. And wait until you see the view from the back deck. I watched as Jennifer gave Tyler the grand tour, his expressions shifting from awe to excitement. Amanda made her specialty pasta. We sat down, conversation flowing naturally despite the complicated family dynamics. This is amazing, Mrs. Marshall, Tyler said after his first bite. I don't think I've ever had pasta this good. Call me Amanda, please, she laughed. It's just a simple recipe. Mom's being modest, Jennifer chimed in. She's become a gourmet chef this past year. As dinner progressed, Tyler relaxed, laughing at Jennifer's college stories, asking thoughtful questions about our work. It struck me how hungry he seemed for this kind of normal, supportive family interaction. We were just about to serve dessert when the doorbell rang. Amanda and I exchanged confused glances. We weren't expecting anyone. I'll get it, I said, standing up. When I opened the door, Marcus stood there, his face flushed with anger. Where is he? He demanded, pushing past me into the foyer. Where's my son? Marcus, what are you doing here? I asked, stunned. Tyler's car has GPS tracking. When he didn't come home after studying at the library, he made sarcastic air quotes. I checked and found him here. At your house. He spat out the last words like an accusation. Tyler appeared in the hallway, Jennifer slightly behind him. Dad, What are you doing here? What am I doing here? Marcus's voice rose. What are you doing here? With them. He gestured wildly toward me. Amanda joined us, concerned but composed. Marcus. Tyler just came for dinner. Jennifer invited him. He ignored her, focusing his rage on Tyler. Get your things. We're leaving now. Dad, come on. We're just having dinner. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. Marcus laughed harshly. You're fraternizing with the enemy, and you think it's not a big deal. I stepped forward. Marcus, that's enough. There's no enemy here. Tyler is my nephew, and he's welcome in our home anytime. Marcus turned to me, years of resentment blazing in his eyes. You think I don't know what you're doing? First you turn our parents against me with your perfect daughter, and your perfect job, and your perfect house. Now you're trying to turn my son against me, too. Nobody's turning anyone against you, I said, trying to keep my voice level. Tyler reached out to Jennifer. They formed their own connection. And yes, he's welcome in our home, but not despite you, because he's family and we care about him. Marcus laughed bitterly. Care about him? You've barely spoken to him in a year. That was your choice, not mine, I reminded him. You sided with Mom and Dad. You made it clear where your loyalties were. My loyalties? Marcus's voice rose again. What about your loyalties? You abandoned the family the minute things didn't go your way. I protected my daughter from the same favoritism that damaged our relationship growing up. I corrected him, my voice firm. I chose to break a toxic cycle rather than perpetuate it. Marcus fell silent, his breathing heavy, hands clenched. Then, in a quieter voice laced with bitterness, he said, You always think you're so much better than me, with your fancy job and your perfect family. You have no idea what it's like to struggle, to fail, to disappoint people who believed in you. In that moment, I saw my brother clearly. Not the golden child who had everything, but a man crushed by the weight of expectations he could never fulfill. The favorite son who had to keep proving he deserved that status. The successful child who wasn't allowed to fail. You're right, I said softly. I don't know what that's like, because nobody ever expected me to be anything special. Nobody put that pressure on me. Our eyes met, and for a brief moment, I thought I saw understanding pass between us. The recognition that we had both been damaged by our parents' uneven love, just in different ways. The moment passed quickly. Marcus squared his shoulders. Tyler. Car. Now. Tyler looked torn, glancing between his father and us. Dad, please. Can't we just talk about this? There's nothing to talk about. You lied to me. You went behind my back. You betrayed your family. They're my family, too, Dad, Tyler said quietly. And I'm going to Cornell next year, whether you support that decision or not. Marcus stared at his son for a long, tense moment. Then, without another word, he turned and walked out the door, slamming it behind him. Tyler stood frozen, his face pale. I'm sorry, he whispered. I didn't mean for this to happen. Jennifer put her arm around his shoulders. It's not your fault. He'll calm down eventually. I should go, Tyler said, though he made no move. He's my ride. I'll drive you home, I offered. Or you can stay here tonight if you prefer. We have plenty of room. Tyler looked tempted, but shook his head. I should go home. Face the music. He attempted a weak smile. Thanks for dinner, though. It was nice to feel normal for a little while. As I drove Tyler home, he was quiet, lost in thought. Just before we reached his house, he turned to me. Uncle Lou? Yes. How did you do it? Walk away from Grandma and Grandpa when they were being unfair. I considered his question carefully. I realized that staying in a situation that was hurting my family wasn't loyalty. It was enabling behavior that would continue to cause pain. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is create boundaries, even when it hurts. Tyler nodded slowly. I think I'm going to need to do that, too. As he got out, I called after him. Tyler, remember, you always have a place with us if you need it. He smiled, a small sad smile, and nodded once before walking toward his house, where Marcus stood silhouetted in the doorway, waiting. Driving home, I realized that the family dynamics I thought I had escaped had simply transformed into something new. And whether I wanted it or not, I was now at the center of a family revolution that had been decades in the making. The fallout from the confrontation with Marcus was swift and far-reaching. The next day, my mother called, her voice tight with controlled anger. What exactly do you think you're doing, Louis? She demanded without preamble. Hello to you too, Mom. I replied, keeping my tone neutral. I assume Marcus called you. Of course he called us. He's devastated. First, you turned your back on the family, and now you're trying to influence Tyler against his father. I took a deep breath. Tyler reached out to Jennifer. They've become friends. He asked to see our new house. So, we invited him for dinner. That's the whole story. And the Cornell application. Was that your idea, too? No, that was entirely Tyler's decision. Jennifer helped him because he asked her to. My mother made a disbelieving noise. Tyler has always been set to follow in his father's footsteps. This sudden interest in art school came out of nowhere. Did you ever actually ask Tyler what he wanted? I countered. Or did you all just assume he shared Marcus's dreams? The silence that followed told me everything. Look, Mom, I continued more gently. Tyler is a smart, thoughtful young man with his own interests and aspirations. He loves computers and digital design. He got into a prestigious university program on his own merits. Isn't that something worth celebrating? Another silence. Then, we always supported your choices, Louis. I don't understand why you're doing this to your brother. The revisionist history was so blatant, I almost laughed. Mom, that's simply not true. You and Dad made it very clear throughout my childhood that my choices, my achievements, and eventually my child, were less important than Marcus. I've accepted that I can't change your perspective, but Tyler deserves the chance to pursue his own path without guilt or manipulation. We're coming to visit, my mother announced abruptly. Your father and I, this weekend. It's time we saw this new house of yours and had a proper conversation. The declaration caught me off guard. This weekend. Saturday. We'll be there at 1. Please make sure Jennifer is home. She hung up before I could respond. Amanda was supportive but concerned. Are you sure you want to do this? The last time you confronted them, it didn't go well. I'm not looking for confrontation, I assured her. But maybe it's time for an honest conversation. They've never even seen our new home. And you're okay with that? I considered. I'm not expecting miracles. But Tyler's situation has made me realize something. Walking away solved some problems, but it created others. I don't want him caught in the middle of a family civil war. Jennifer was surprisingly enthusiastic. I think it's good, she said. They should see that we're doing great without their approval. Plus, I kind of miss Grandpa's terrible jokes. Saturday arrived bright and clear. Amanda stress cleaned the already immaculate house while I prepared lunch. Jennifer arranged fresh flowers. None of us spoke about our expectations, but the tension was palpable. At precisely 1, the doorbell rang. My parents stood there, looking smaller, older than I remembered. My father held a gift bag awkwardly. Mom, Dad. I greeted them, stepping back. Welcome to our home. My mother's eyes widened as she took in the soaring ceilings, the wall of windows, Amanda's tasteful furnishings. This is quite impressive, she said, that complicated emotion in her voice again. Thank you. We love it here. I led them to the living room where Amanda and Jennifer waited. Greetings were stiff but polite. Jennifer hugged her grandparents. Amanda shook their hands. My father handed Jennifer the gift bag. Just a little something, he mumbled. For your college success. Jennifer opened it to find a beautiful leather-bound journal. This is gorgeous, Grandpa. Thank you. Your grandmother picked it out, he said, looking pleased. Thought it might be useful for a scholar like you. The acknowledgement of Jennifer as a scholar was small but significant. I caught Amanda's eye, and she gave a tiny nod. After the tour, we sat down to lunch on the deck. The conversation remained surface level. Updates on relatives, questions about Jennifer's studies, comments on the warm weather. It wasn't until coffee that my father finally broached the subject. Marcus tells us Tyler came to dinner here last week, he said, setting down his cup with deliberate care. Yes, he did, I confirmed. He and Jennifer have become good friends. And this business about Cornell Art School. My father's tone made it clear what he thought of that idea. Jennifer spoke up before I could. Tyler's incredibly talented, Grandpa. His digital compositions are amazing. His portfolio is genuinely impressive. But business school would give him so many more opportunities, my mother interjected. Marcus has connections. People who could help Tyler get established. The same connections that have helped Marcus stay employed? The word slipped out sharper than I'd intended. My father's face hardened. Your brother has had some bad luck. The economy hasn't been kind. It's not bad luck when it happens over and over for 20 years, Amanda said quietly. And it's not the economy when everyone else in his field manages to keep a job. I suppose you think you're better than him, my mother said, her voice rising slightly. With your successful careers and your fancy house. I leaned forward. That's exactly the problem, Mom. Everything is always a comparison with you and Dad. Better, worse, more successful, less successful. Can't we just accept that Marcus and I are different people who made different choices and ended up with different lives? Of course you're different people, my father said dismissively. No one ever said otherwise. But you treated us very differently. I pressed. You still do. And now you're doing the same thing with Jennifer and Tyler. That's ridiculous, my mother protested. We love both of you. Both of them. Jennifer cleared her throat. Grandma, do you remember my 16th birthday? My mother looked confused. Of course, dear. We gave you that lovely necklace. No, Jennifer said gently. You forgot my 16th birthday entirely. You were at Tyler's baseball tournament. You called 3 days later. My mother's face flushed. That's not. We wouldn't have. And my science fair win in junior year? The one that got me the university summer program? You couldn't come because Tyler had a college visit that weekend. Well, that wasn't important. I'm not saying this to make you feel bad. Jennifer continued, her voice kind but firm. I'm just pointing out that there's a clear pattern. And now that I'm at Cornell, suddenly I'm worth noticing. Suddenly my achievements matter because they fit into a narrative you understand. Prestigious university, academic success. My father shifted uncomfortably. We've always been proud of you, Jennifer. I know you have, in your way, but you've never celebrated me the way you celebrated Tyler. Not until recently. And that's confusing for both of us. My parents exchanged glances, a silent communication passing between them. My mother looked genuinely troubled, perhaps for the first time truly hearing what we were saying. We never meant to make either of you feel less important, she said finally, looking from Jennifer to me. We just thought Marcus needed more support. He wasn't as naturally capable as you were, Louis. And Tyler struggled where Jennifer didn't. So you overcompensated, I suggested, to the point where your support for them became dismissal of us. My father looked down at his hands. We thought we were doing the right thing, giving more attention to the child who needed it more. But both children need attention, Amanda pointed out. Both need celebration and support, just in different ways, for different things. A heavy silence fell over the deck. Birds called in the ravine below us. The breeze rustled through the trees. It felt like a pivotal moment, though I wasn't sure exactly what was shifting. Tyler's unhappy, my mother said suddenly. Marcus is forcing him to apply to state, threatening to withhold support if he doesn't. They're fighting constantly. Sophia called me in tears last night. The admission surprised me. Tyler got a scholarship to Cornell. Not a full ride, but substantial. He wouldn't need Marcus's financial support if. I trailed off, seeing the implication dawn on my parents' faces. If we helped him instead, my father finished. I'm not suggesting you should, I clarified quickly. That's entirely your decision. I'm just pointing out that Tyler has options that don't involve being forced into a path he doesn't want. My mother looked thoughtful. He's really talented at this digital art thing. Extremely, Jennifer confirmed. He could have a real career in it. The program at Cornell is one of the best in the country. My parents exchanged another look. We should talk to Tyler directly, my father decided. Hear from him what he wants. I think that's a wonderful idea, Amanda said warmly. He deserves to have his voice heard. As the conversation moved on, I felt a subtle shift in the atmosphere. Not a complete transformation. Decades of patterns don't change in an afternoon. But a crack in the foundation. A willingness to at least consider a different perspective. When my parents left a few hours later, my mother hugged me tentatively. Your home is beautiful, Louis. You've built a good life here. Thank you, Mom. That means a lot. We'd like to visit more often if that's all right. Get to know Jennifer better before she goes back to school. You're always welcome here, I told her, and was surprised to realize I meant it. The months that followed brought gradual, imperfect change. My parents began making real efforts with Jennifer, calling her regularly, sending care packages, showing genuine interest in her studies. They had several long conversations with Tyler, and while they didn't completely abandon their hope that he would follow a more traditional path, they agreed to help supplement his scholarship at Cornell if that was truly what he wanted. Marcus was a harder case. The revelation about Tyler's art school ambitions sent him into a rage that resulted in 3 weeks of silence. When he finally resurfaced, it was with grudging acceptance. By Jennifer's sophomore family weekend, Tyler had started his freshman year at Cornell. My parents attended, as did Amanda and I. Marcus and Sophia declined, but their absence didn't cast the shadow it might have once. Watching Jennifer proudly show her grandparents around campus, seeing Tyler join us for dinner, excited about his classes and new friends, I felt a profound sense of peace. Not because everything was perfect. It wasn't, and likely never would be. But because I had learned to define family on my own terms. Standing on the Cornell campus that bright fall day, I thought back to that night after Jennifer's graduation announcement, when I had finally walked away from patterns that had hurt us for too long. It hadn't been an ending, as I'd thought then, but a beginning. The beginning of building something healthier, something truer to who we really were. Penny for your thoughts? Amanda said, slipping her hand into mine as we watched Jennifer, Tyler, and my parents laughing together by the campus lake. I was just thinking that sometimes the hardest boundaries to draw are the ones that ultimately create the most freedom, I replied. For everyone, she squeezed my hand. Worth every difficult moment. I nodded, watching my daughter's confident smile, my nephew's newfound enthusiasm, even my parents' tentative steps toward a more balanced relationship with all their family members. Worth every moment, I confirmed. Have you ever had to walk away from family expectations to build the life you truly wanted? I'd love to hear your stories in the comments below. Sometimes the hardest choices lead to the greatest growth. If this story resonated with you, please hit that subscribe button and share it with someone who might need to hear that it's okay to create healthy boundaries. Thank you for being part of this journey with me.